Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky. I do apologize for the late upload. I went to go see the Odyssey today, and it just took a little bit longer. But nonetheless, wanted to do a very quick market update. Like you guys, if you tuned on into our aftermarket live session where we watched DraftKings, really just Airbnb report earnings because DraftKings was taking so long. And based off the way that DraftKings reported and market reacted, not too much. Airbnb reported earnings. We watched this thing gap up. It became overbought. It was just perfect timing. We saw lack of progress. I opened up a small short position, added more to it as direction became favorable, and walked away with $2,200 on the day. I actually made more money off of it than I actually originally assumed. I thought I was going to make like $800 to $1,000, and it just sold off so much quicker than I expected. I added more to it. And then we took profits. So other than that, PLTR was the only other short that I took advantage of today. We waited literally the entire time it gapped up. We waited for it to consolidate. And then when it did begin to actually show signs of a sell-off, that's when I again announced it to my LPP team. And reminder, I trade with my LPP team every morning whenever it is that you guys are ready to join us. Again, as markets are down, we discount our prices. So second link in the description down below. It's just a one-time payment, lifetime access. You can sign up right now and start watching me trade live as soon as tomorrow once the market's open. But the thing that I quickly want to talk about is a quick little update. Japanese market also not doing too hot right now, slightly in the red. The thing that I want to update you guys on is what's going on in the Middle East. Iran has directly dismantled Donald Trump's Hormuz deal narrative by striking 2 oil tankers transiting under the U.S. escort on the same southern corner of the president claims is part of the reopening agreement, according to Tasnim News. The attack reportedly targeted 2 ships. Now, the whole idea behind this is that the strikes came just hours after Trump told reporters a Hormuz deal was coming together and that Iran has requested talks. So this pretty much just supports the case that Trump is just saying anything he can to keep the markets elevated as we go into the weekend. Does it really surprise us? It's really unfortunate that this is what we have to work with if this is true. We also know that in Iran, to my understanding, there's the Iranian government and then there's the IRGC, and there's like 30 different departments or something like that. I've tried to read into it on why there's so many like conflicting reports about there is a deal or there's not a deal, or we are, open to talking, or no, we're not. It always sounds like it's coming from a different person. But nonetheless, this is one of the latest updates. Yes, there has been attacks. And this is shortly after Trump is stating that there is a deal with Iran. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. Do you think that we will actually lock in a deal by tomorrow? Or do you think Trump is just buying himself more time up until Fridays once markets close to resume attacks again, just so, again, markets can't get influenced, and then come back on Sunday with a peace deal? Your guess is as good as mine. We've been doing this for the past 22 weeks, and it's just the same BS over and over again. I'm sure a lot of us are just over it, right? Nonetheless, the part that I find most interesting that I was very excited to keep you guys up to date on is a lot of you guys have been, kind of just like having interest in what Michael Burry is up to. So he has now opened up a bearish position on Oracle and on Nebius. And if you guys actually check out, the one that really caught my attention was NBIS. NBIS sold off 13.2% on the day. If you guys do not know what this stock was, it was one of the best performing stocks. If I'm not mistaken, I thought it was one of the best performing stocks 2025, but if you actually look at the performance, it had an amazing run up until just, 2 months ago, highs of nearly 300, and since then it's been correcting. And guess what? If you actually jump into the Investing Pro software and type in NBIS, the thing that you'll quickly find out, again, that's why I like using this software, is to have a better understanding of how expensive fundamentally this company is performing. And the revenue is all over the place. The net income is all over the place. It's still incredibly expensive, 66 times its earnings. And that's after seeing a pretty significant downturn. Again, you have every right to invest in any company that your heart desires. But this stock is down 36% from its recent pump, and it's still trading at 66 times its earnings. If overall markets begin to drop, what do you think will happen with Nebius? Again, you're more than welcome to invest into it if you really do think it's the future. I know that that's, something that a lot of people continue to pitch. I see that it's too early, incredibly irrational, and I only see it sustaining itself during irrational times. But again, that's my opinion. I'm much more conservative than many other investors. This just seems like a momentum train. A lot of momentum kicked in. It had an amazing run when it was trendy and hot, but then now it's kind of getting its butt kicked, and this is not where it's as fun, right? It's not just a straight ride to the moon from lows of 100 to highs of 300. I get that. Direction was in your favor. Momentum was in your favor. Market sentiment was in your favor. That made sense. Now you're going to be kind of in for a ride. A lot of volatility. One moment it's up. Another moment it's correcting. What is that? What was that drop? Like another 30%? Yeah, 35% when we hit lows of 150 to rip back up to highs of 128. Now we're kind of in the middle ground. So maybe if it does become incredibly oversold or incredibly overbought, you can kind of entertain the idea of, okay, I know when to take profits, or I know maybe when to buy the dip. With this type of stock, it's so volatile that, again, shorting is not going to be a super safe play because, again, it's incredibly irrational. There is one company that I was looking into. It's still kind of expensive, also fundamentally. Not super expensive, but still somewhat. CMG. I know some of you guys are like, what the heck, Ricky? I mean, like, why would this one even be one that you would consider? CMG, from overall highs of $69 to current lows of 30, it's been consolidating here for some time. And if we look at CMG fundamentally, maybe we can dive a little bit deeper into it over the weekend. It's still trading at 30 times its earnings. Its P ratio is actually coming down, which means it's less of a premium. Revenue is going up, and net income, it's kind of stagnant. So nothing super, super attractive, but fair value says 20% upside. My thing with this is that if overall AI stocks just become incredibly irrational and strong corrections follow with that, then maybe I do want to rotate some capital into safer and different kind of space. And again, something like this that technically speaking is quite oversold, might present an opportunity to maybe have some exposure. This is something that I want to run past my financial advisor and see kind of what he says. So just wanted to plant that seed with you guys and see what your guys' take was. So again, excited to see how overall markets open. I was actually very surprised. I didn't trade Micron at all today. I was very impressed that a lot of these chip companies gapped up and then held up here the entire day up until the final 30 minutes. So again, if you're part of my LPP team, you know that we were paying attention for this overbought reversal, but it literally never formed. There was a slight pullback, but after that, just for hours, it traded sideways. Another great reason to kind of hold back on trades, or the idea of over trading, that cash is a position. And often when markets are showing to be a little bit stubborn, it's better to not waste your entire day watching paint dry, as direction is kind of just trading sideways, right? So make sure that you do your part in taking advantage of opportunities that actually make sense and that are in your favor. I hope that tomorrow, again, regardless if you're bullish or bearish, I'm sure that we'll have some form of opportunities presenting itself, and I'm excited to talk about it in our live trading session. If you want to join us, it's the second link in the description down below. And again, the trading software that I am using is called Webull. So if you guys want to actually download it, they have a huge sale right now. You can earn up to 12 free shares just for signing up. And if you have an initial deposit of $100, there'll be random shares from SpaceX. There'll be random shares from Tesla, NVIDIA. So feel free to check it out. And that's going to be, I think, the fifth link in the description down below. Everything is linked in the description. Just make sure you go ahead and check it out. So I appreciate you guys' time. I hope that we're in a thumbs up. Hope to see you in tomorrow's live. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.